So I had to stop and fix a flat. I had no idea that it was even gone, completely off the rim. But I stopped in here to get diesel, 225 miles in my trip. And let me spit that out. I stopped to check the straps like 100 miles into the trip. Everything was fine. This thing was setting, splitting the difference on each side. And if you look right here, it's starting to scoot back. Well, you should have seen it before. This whole thing scooted over and was literally back here. The front was on there. This side was a half inch right here hanging off. It wouldn't have fell very far, it would have fell right here. But I had an X brace put on it on the front and the rear. And anyways, I got so many straps on there now. I've got an X brace in the middle, or X strapping in the middle with this ratchet straps, and then two big ones, or one big one in the front and a little one in the front. I don't have any more binders with me, but anyways, there's all that grating, and there's hand railing up on top all the way back, and then those steps and this thing here, and it's made out of 1/2 inch I-beam. So let's get started and get to where we're going, because I have been screwing around way too long. I should have already been up there waiting. The crane will be there at 7 a.m. to unload me, and I mean, I still have to stay and spend the night, but it's 3:30 and I'm 89 miles away, so that's a pretty good amount of time left. Whew, damn, what a freaking evening. So this is the trip up to Morgantown, West Virginia. They told me I was going to go to Pennsylvania or Maryland, but I mean to Pennsylvania, but it's not. It's Sunday evening. Hang on just a second. There's why I like driving at night. Check that out. That's a log truck. Man, that looks good. Man, that is nice. Lime green. That's cool to be a log truck. Wonder how he keeps it so nice. So we've been pulling some mountains, that's for sure. And I think I know when that happened. And that was 110 miles or 15 miles into the trip. They were doing road construction, and oh, that's a horrible shift. I have to get used to wearing my shoes instead of my boots. I just use them for driving. But they were doing road construction, and it was some really rough road. I mean, like really rough. But I think what happened was that's when that tire took a shit. Pardon my language, but I mean, it's cold up here too. It's 30 degrees out. I had to bundle up just to get out there and do that. Oh well, it's all good now. We're on the road again. Hopefully everything will be fine. I hope that thing don't come off there. God, that would be, like I said, it can't fall off, but it won't. It'll make a. It just won't look good doing it. They didn't want me to put chains on it because there was the paint, and I was like, man, I don't feel comfortable hauling that without chains on it. And they're like, we don't want no chains on it, like every other load I haul. So we put those straps on there, and they're like, oh, even their truck driver's like, that's perfect, man. It ain't gonna go nowhere. It almost fell off the trailer on that corner. So we'll show you some video here. Oh, man, I'm tired now. I wasn't tired until that happened. The lug nuts, they torqued the freaking lug nuts down. So I went on a trip to Florida with that trailer and went all the way down there and back without one problem. And I get back and I have a flat tire. So I took it to a tire shop, had them I could had them put it on. I had nothing with me to do it with. I took everything out of my truck. I was home, and we unpacked everything. And I guess in the midst of all that, somehow my breaker bar got taken out and my socket set. So, anyways, I took it to a tire shop. Same people do my truck tires. Well, there's a lot of these places that you take your tires to, and if you let them do it, they'll just do it because that's what they're in a hurry to do things. But some quality tire shops like Firestone don't do it this way, what I'm getting ready to tell you, but there's a lot of them that do it, especially these mom and pop top places. And what they do is they take the impact and they'll run them lug nuts all the way down to that impact which you're driving. Then they'll get their torque wrench out and set it, say, 140 pounds, like is what they did to my wheels. And they crank them down. Well, of course, it ain't gonna turn none, it's just gonna click. And the proper way to do it is just to run them just down to where they snug up with an impact, and then use the torque wrench to take it to 140. Because running the impact all the way down on them, just pounding on them, you could set that torque wrench at 160, 180, maybe 200 pounds, and it's still going to click because them idiots, they run it all the way down with an impact. You know, that breaks the studs off. It's really hard on your wheel studs to let somebody do that. And they done that to this trailer this time, put them on 100, I'd say they're about every bit of 150. If I didn't have that cheater bar for those big fat ratchet straps, I wouldn't have been able to do it here on the side of the road because I was standing on it and I couldn't get them loose. And I weigh 230, and you know, I'm pretty muscular also. I tried every way to get it loose, and before I started that, the wheel was spinning because, you know, it didn't have no weight on it. So what I did was I took one of my chains, my smaller ones, and I took the hook off of it and weaved it through the wheel, the spoke, and just chained it to the rubber rail, and it kept it from turning. And I had a truck driver, a black guy, standing there telling me, "Oh, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. That ain't going to hold that. You're just going to break something." And it worked. Of course, I just ignore people when they walk up and start telling me I should have done this or done that. Sometimes I'll listen. Like the guy taught me how to do my ratchet straps, the slack on them. That's the best thing. I'm gonna do a video on it. 2 ways I get rid of the slack on my ratchet straps, the ones I use, like the handheld ratchet instead of the one on the trailer. What I'm gonna show you is probably gonna change it a lot because it did mine. But anyway, so that's a different video. I've been pulling steep grades the whole time on this run here, and that all that stuff on the trailer there is right at 12,000. It's like 11.8 or something like that, and then, you know, the weight of the trailer. So we're right back up there again. But I changed my oil today before I started this today about noon. Then I got on the excavator, dug a water, started on that water line. But what I found out was when I was messing with that light right there that was making this staying on, you know, before I drained the tank and like made sure there wasn't nothing in there like water, because it, you know, it keeps staying on. You know, tried to drain the water off the filter, and I put a new filter in it. This is when I was working on the tank, and of course nothing was come out of it but diesel. And so I apparently didn't shut that thing all the way, and it worked its way around to almost halfway's open. And when I opened the hood, well, I smelled diesel in the front of the truck, and I thought, man, that's strange. But I was at the farm in the barn, so, you know, there's, you know, tractors and diesel and oil everywhere. So I was just like, well, maybe that's, you know, I just didn't. It was only like 5 seconds. I opened the hood, and the entire engine bay is covered in diesel. So we wouldn't even get the right horsepower or fuel consumption or anything, because that thing was halfway open, just dumping fuel out. Blows my mind. I mean, it's a lot too. It's not just like, you know, it'll always look like, you know, a gallon looks like a lot when it's sprayed out, but I'd say it's more than that. When it's running off the back of the log, you know, all down the engine valley. Yeah, it was, I took a shot back and sucked it all out of there. Just some dirt and all don't stick to it. But, you know, we use this truck for work, not for work and YouTube videos, right? So we're not worried about it being pretty, we just want it to work. And, yeah, anyways, so it's been, you know, if this is the only thing eventful that I've had happen in a while, knock on wood, thank God for all of it, because had I not stopped to get diesel, I'd have never known that tire was completely missing off the trailer, and then I wouldn't have known that load had shifted on me. My trailer, I got floodlights so I can flip the switch and light those up, but not while I'm driving, but on the trailer. But when I got out and walked around it, which still wouldn't have changed anything, but luckily I was off the interstate and in a gas station parking lot. Man, I didn't go to like a major, it was just, you know, it's not a major truck stop. There's one, they got truck parking next door. So it wasn't real busy where I was at, which is good because I don't like doing that around a bunch of trucks or out here on the interstate. It sucks changing a tire. And I tell all my family members, which we know, but I try to get them to share with other people. If you see somebody on the side of the road, even if they're just sitting there, get over in the other lane if you can, or at least halfways. Don't just zoom right by them. You wouldn't believe how many people do that, and it's so dangerous. And I mean, it's just it's disrespectful. I was always raised to get over out of the way, give somebody leeway. You know, back when I was doing this 10, 12 years ago, all the truck drivers would get over. Now they don't hardly get over. Only the ones that, you know, are old school, they still get over, let you do your thing over there without blowing you halfways off the face of the earth or scaring you to death. But yeah, if you don't do that, take into consideration of doing that. It's really nice. You're just being polite, being a better person. Just don't worry about the guy in front of you because he didn't do it. Just you know, show that you did it. Your family, teach them to do it. Ask them to do it. When we all do it, we'll have a thing going on where everybody does it. All right, so we're over that little thing. I'm like 89 miles out. This ain't been near a struggle. It's 30 degrees out, so we're running a lot cooler and a lot better. Even when you know, my other 7.3, the blower never come on it. Never got hot or anything like that. And it always run cooler when it was, I got videos talking about it with my other truck, pulling in mountains, and you know, when it's cold out, 7.3s like to run when it's really cold. I mean, way better than they normally do. But yeah, I'll get like, you know, probably 10 miles out or something from where I'm going, and they told me I could park on the lot and put a chain and a lock around the gate, leave my trailer, or just stay with my truck. But it's in a rural area, an industrial park, and I don't know anything about it. In Morgantown's like there's a lot of people there, and I don't have my gun with me. I had to put it back in here, so I'm almost find a truck stop out from Morgantown and stay there until later in the morning, and then I'll get up and go ahead and make the last jaunt over there. Man, I got so lucky, very lucky. God was looking out over me, I'm telling you. That could have been really bad if that thing would have slipped off there. It may have just sat on that X-brace and not went anywhere, and then again, it may have pulled itself on over and walked right off the trailer. God, that would be, my insurance would love that. Oh my God, I don't even want to think about it. It's a bad, bad day. It's worse than me hitting that log this summer on the Baja and tearing out the whole outdrive. $5,000 screw up. But anyways, I'm gonna have some videos. I know my channel's all about trucks and all, but my boat, man, it's got a 350 and it's an Outlaw, and it's an MPI. It's an MPI 350, but it runs really good. It sounds good. It's a good looking boat. I'll have some videos of that. There's a few out there on YouTube, the Bajas, but Outlaw 20s, but not a whole lot. But I'm gonna take a couple videos, put that on there. But probably a couple of cutting hay this year with that new baler. I'll probably put a couple of those videos on there. That new baler's pretty cool. But mostly just truck stuff. I'm gonna look in the mirror here and just watch. I see that thing going over. I don't think they can even walk over that way now. I don't like having my camera up where people can see me with it up, or other truck drivers or anything. But hey, I really appreciate all my viewers and subscribers. I like the comments, I really do. You know, I know people, I watch some people's channels and they lock the comments out, you know. And there for a long time I did that and I didn't know what it was, but it's crazy how YouTube does their videos. So it says, is it made for kids? Well, I was putting yes, because you know my videos aren't nothing wrong. Well, it would keep the comments off of there. But if you put no, it's not made for kids, then it'll allow you to leave comments on there. That's the craziest thing I ever heard. Totally the opposite. But it is what it is. We're over that part of it. They haven't wrote me up for nothing on there, left me any violations or anything like that. So, yeah, I wish it was daylight so I could show you all this big ass satellite that's up here in Morgantown to talk to the aliens. It's crazy. It's massive on the side of a hill, on the side of a mountain. And there's some really pretty mountains to look off of. Oh, I can go out and get that. I wasn't thinking. Now I lost my momentum because I shifted. All I had to do was back out of it. I'd say this is a good one though. That truck in front of me slowed way down. Oh yeah, it is. We're going on up. Here's a good one. This is going to be a long one here. And look at that guy up there. I'm catching him, so if I'd been paying attention, we may have gotten up a little further at 6, but oh well. It is what it is. I need to just get some of those things for the chains, the chain protectors or whatever, for these loads that are painted, because even though they still don't want them on there, they don't want nothing on that paint when they get done with it. But I'm not hauling anything else if it can't be chained when it's big like that. I'm done with that crap. I could defuel it probably on this pull, and I don't know, we're going on up. And maybe get a little bit more speed, but there we go. They'll just keep getting bigger and bigger as we go. I'll show one more, and that's a 20-minute video. I don't want to bore y'all to completely death with it. So I forgot to show you the video, man. So I got my wheels on today from 2020 Hot Shot Trucking LLC. Those rear Alcoas, I got them on here finally. And it looks good. It looks a totally different truck. Totally different truck. Ears are popping. I know better to do that, not just override what the customer says. I should have just went down the road, put the chains on there, and then I'd have never had that close call. I know better than that. I've been doing this too long to hear someone tell me that, you know, the straps will be okay. 10 years ago, 12 years ago, man, never use straps. I got so many chains at the house. I've got chains laying everywhere. I got buckets of them. Binders. I like the snap binders. That's how I got it back over. Was just using a snap binder and loosened all the straps up, and just a couple inches, about an inch at a time, I'd pull it over and then reset the binder, pull it over and reset the binder. And I got, you know, the truck driver standing there. It's going, it's going. Well, yeah, I know that. I keep getting slack in the chain. So that rest stop area is not fully loaded, but it's getting close. I've done a lot of runs up this road going up north. It's crazy. A lot of runs up through here. We were all the way in the top of Pennsylvania working, and my girlfriend had brought the boat up, and anyways, when we got done with the job and headed home with the camper and all, it was at, you know, the video I made pulling it up there. Well, it was on the way pulling it back, and we had stayed at that rest stop back there. We made it that far. It was like a 15-hour drive pulling that monster through the mountains. So, and her pulling the boat with her F-150. It's a 16 model with a 5.0 in it. It's, man, the old boat, it wasn't heavy like that Baja, but it still was, you know, a decent size boat. It's a 19 foot, but that Baja weighs 6,000 pounds. But that truck didn't struggle at all. She took off and left me a couple times. But I'll tell you a funny story. So when we left the campground up there, of course, you know, I drained the black water, and I just left that tank open. Oh my God, it was so funny. We're coming back, you know, and we're going around curves like this, running, you know, about the same speed really, and that, whatever's left of the bottom of that tank, all that crap, those turds rolling across the road, smacking the front of her truck and everything, and she was like calling me, going, "Oh my God, it smells like poop in my truck." You know, I'm saying the G-rated words, but she was cussing, man. And that's when she took off and left me. And I told her we was going to stop up here. I couldn't drive anymore. That was, you know, I gave her an approximate area we was going to stop at. And anyways, so it had sprayed all over the front of her truck and all. Well, we stopped at this truck stop to get fuel. I did. She still had gas, but this truck driver was walking by the front of her truck, and he goes, "Man, that smells just like shit on the front of your truck." It was sprayed all over the windshield and everything where she used washer fluid. And she was like, "Yeah, that asshole over there left his black water open," and he's like, "Oh my God," he started dying laughing. And it was funny though. Oh, you had to be there. It was funny as hell. And I didn't do it to be like an ass or even joking around, because I'm a prankster, but I didn't do it like that. I will next time, but yeah, I just did it just to get what was left in there, because I dumped a bag of ice in there, and it cleans off you put water in there with it, and you know, the road that comes out of the campground was like a couple miles long, and it's curvy, and that water and that ice beats off all the toilet paper and crap that gets stuck on the inside of the tanks, on the sensors and all, and don't hurt them. And then when I got to the bottom, I just opened it up, drained it down in the black water system down there, and left it open. Oh God, that's so funny. Still staying around 1100 degrees. That's about it right there. It's 25 minutes. We're still climbing this one, but anyways, thank you all for watching, subscribing, being viewers, and watchers and subscribers and viewers. Yeah, it's about the same thing, right? Viewers. I do that every time. Sorry about that. But yeah, you know what I mean. And if you're not a subscriber, hit that like button and the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. God bless you all, and I hope y'all have a safe spring and summer. Thanks for watching all my videos. I'll talk to you all later. I'll put that number 2 video out here soon.